Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We are live, 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 live. It is a live event with me, Steve-O, and from HQ Connect. We are so excited that you have chosen to spend a little time with us today. Now, I will freely admit we're just working on some of the little kinks, some of the little things. So right now, do me a favor. Go ahead online right now to Twitter, or if you want to tweet me, you can just tweet SteveOKTV or Twitter HQ Connect. That is our website. We're helping you connect the dots today, and I'm really excited about the presentation I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. Also, I am broadcasting live on Google Hangout, and I have a group chat hooked up, but I'm not sure. Oh wait, that's me in the background. I'm going to turn that off. Sorry, a little echo. Group chat, that hopefully you'll be able to see that. I can see it on the right-hand side of my page, but I haven't actually learned enough to how to include more people in it. So maybe that's something that we will do in the future. I believe that's kind of like if I want to bring people into the conversation. So right now, to keep it easy, I know we have a whole bunch of people watching everywhere around the world. Then we'll just do it like this, okay? All right, so let me do this. I'm going to switch over so we can start our screen share, okay? Is that cool with you? Basically what we're talking about is HAARP today. It is located in Alaska, and it has done some alarming things in the past, since the 1980s. It is actually a technology that was not created by the United States of America as the government, but as a private contractor. And some of the things that they've been able to do have affected our weather here in the Twin Cities, but there actually is a connection now to the Olympics and, how we interact with other countries. And it's all because of HAARP. H-A-A-R-P. That's right. H-A-A-R-P, which stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And again, like I said a minute ago, it is located in the beautiful state of Alaska. And I'm going to start this now. Here we go. Sorry, I had closed my windows and inadvertently closed my presentation window. So here we go. 41 viewers. Guys, this is incredible so far. So let me get over to my presentation, and let's talk about HAARP. And this is an HQ Connect production. All right, here we go, guys. So this is talking about HAARP. I hope you guys like my new logo and everything. So as we start talking about it, HAARP, this is what HAARP is. As you can see, this is in Alaska, outside of the mountains of Alaska. And what HAARP is they're pushing into the ionosphere electromagnetics. It's basically a weapon. It packs an invisible wall of hundreds of times more powerful than any electrical current in a lightning bolt. One can blast enemy missiles into the sky. Another could be used to blind soldiers on the battlefield. And finally, it can also be used to change the way jet streams travel around the world. Now, as you can see in this picture, you can see there's a number of different antennas that's set up around here, okay? And it's basically a field. Now, how does HAARP work, and what is the effect of HAARP on our government? Well, this is where I was saying this is in Alaska. So we know this. Radio stations like a A30WCCO are an AM radio station. They could be from 50,000 to 100,000 watts. Now, AM stations travel in a very different way. They travel up and they bounce off the atmosphere. They come down. So you can listen to WCCO in Rochester, New York. You can actually hear it at night because how it bounces, especially on cloudy days. Now, FM signals are line of sight. Now, here's the difference. As you can see, also, HAARP also travels up and down in a way. But the main difference is, as you can see, 50,000 watts for your regular standard AM radio station and 3,600 watts. Now, that is a huge difference and has a huge impact on what we're going to next. So here is what HAARP does. HAARP is like 50 72,000-watt radio stations broadcasting straight into the air because the antenna array that the U.S. government is using can actually shoot straight up into the ionosphere. Now, the ionosphere is where there's different levels of oxygen, or excuse me, different levels of our solar system. That's where they talk a lot about there being a hole in our in our Earth. Okay, well, that doesn't happen because the ionosphere, we actually are able to warp and change how it's going. Now, the U.S. military says that it's just studying the ionosphere so they can understand things like how they can use these radio frequencies to, sorry, how they transport, signals across. But we've basically uncovered that the other reason for HARP is so they can do another version of Star Wars, not just up into space, but here too. Now whose finger's on the button of HARP? Well, the Department of Defense is kind of the de facto government and is control of this mind-boggling power of technology. This means our commander-in-chief, President Obama, and before that, President Bush, is ultimately the one who has the finger on the button. But how we're changing weather and the effects are just on the military. The military is actually playing games, and he will get to those games very, very shortly. Now let's go back. I'd like you to, if you have another window open that you can open up, I'd like you to type in patent number 4686605. Now, this is the original patent from 1987 for HARP. As you can see in this photo of the planet Earth, you can see the North Pole, the South Pole. And in this example, they're talking about broadcasting from the transmitter and power generator site up, and how you're able to affect on the other side of the equator the actual Earth, and also be able to change the jet streams and the ionosphere. So this is probably one of the most troubling parts. This is directly from the patent that I just showed you. This invention has a phenomenal variety of possible ramifications and potential future developments. As alluded to earlier, missile or aircraft destruction, deflection, or confusion could result, particularly when excuse me, sorry, I'm getting distracted by something right now. By particles are employed. Also, large regions of the atmosphere could be lifted to an unexpectedly high altitude so that missiles encounter unexpected and unplanned drag forces with resultant destruction or deflection of same. Weather modification is possible by, for example, altering upper atmosphere wind patterns or altering solar absorption patterns by constructing one or more plumes of atmospheric particles. So, what else kind of proof do you need? How does it work? Okay, now here is the HARP site in Alaska. As you can see, we have the power generator. We have actually at the bottom left-hand corner, that is the entrance from Google Maps, and then on the bottom right-hand side is the research facility. To the right-hand side of the upper photo is the 48-element HF antenna array, which those arrays usually broadcast on two different frequencies, 3.39 megahertz and 6.99 megahertz. The multiple transmitters have the capability under computer control to quickly change to any frequency between 2.8 and 10 megahertz, and early tests have demonstrated the capacity, but they haven't been released of what they can do. Now, HARP has actually increased their power. From 1987, they have actually increased their power 5-fold. Notice, since 1987, how much our weather has changed. The changes that have been affected because of HARP. Moving on. So here's what HARP does. These giant antennas basically heat the atmosphere. As the atmosphere heats, it actually funnels straight up, okay? Similar to a polar vortex, which is basically a cylinder moving down into the Americas. The HARP actually makes a heat which has an effect on whatever location they choose to move this heat to. And finally, it gets broadcast into the sky, and it is put basically to affect, not directly, but indirectly, the weather They can actually point at more moist systems. They can go after the North Pole and go after that frozen cold polar vortex weather, and then be able to change it. So again, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, the ionosphere. So as that goes up, it actually shifts the ionosphere, which has an effect on the jet streams that we're seeing. So jet streams aren't actually moving in the normal way. On the left-hand side, we talk about the normal jet streams, how they're moving along around the world. Or on the right-hand side, you can see, okay, this is just an example of what us in America can do. We can push the jet stream farther south. So then you're seeing in places like Georgia, Alabama, down into Texas, Oklahoma, you're seeing colder temperatures, something that has not happened in hundreds of years. And why? I wonder why. Oh yeah, HAARP happened. So how is government supporting this? Well, I think we all know what government is doing. They have their fingers deep in this, as you can see on the right-hand side. The budget for HAARP's high-altitude nuclear cleanup research, because that's what one of the things they're saying it is. In 2005, it was a little over $5 million. 2006, a little under 500 million, or 5 million, excuse me. But now, fast forward, 30+ million, okay? 30 millions of a dollar. That's a lot of money is going into doing this, okay? So how did this all happen? Well, there is a number of different senators on the Prohibition Committee and some of the Defensive Department committees that are responsible for this thing happening. Now, let's get over to why I'm saying the polar vortex is us, America. Let's look at this map of the world. This is a globe, and it shows on the left-hand side, we see Alaska, where it is emanating from, and then to the right, about 5,000 miles away, Sochi, Russia. Now, why would this matter? Well, let's think about Sochi. It is surrounded by countries like Georgia. To the south is Iraq and Iran. We also have Turkey. These are all countries that have been dealing with a lot, I mean, a number of different problems, including military problems, terrorism, bombing, things like that. Now, we like to say, Russia, we trust you with our Americans, we trust you with this kind of security. But we don't. I think we all know that why are these games going on? You are putting the Winter Olympics, something that is known around the world, in a hot spot. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you pick Sochi over somewhere like Japan, like, I don't know, somewhere like Lake Placid in New York, wherever it is? So what America is doing right now is we are flexing our muscle. We are showing what we can do, because we will attack if necessary and have an even more negative effect on the Russian population if they do not do their 115% to make sure that the American athletes are safe. We're also doing it because it's part of Obama's plan to continue to build upon the need for infrastructure. Remember about 4 or 5 years ago, President Barack Obama said, we here as Americans need to do something about the infrastructure. We need to fix our roads. We need to do this. All right. Well, he started, but he didn't even do a tenth. Economists actually say that really he should quadruple the amount of money that they're putting into infrastructure. Compare America to Europe. Europe has Wi-Fi everywhere. Europe has the infrastructure that they need because of things that have happened, where America has not put enough time into our education and the infrastructure of roads, internet, telecommunication, etc. So that has to do it for my presentation. I am going to hopefully be able to switch back so you can see my face. And as I do that, please hold, please hold, please hold. There we go, I'm back. So I hope you guys were really able to learn a lot from my presentation. If you're watching via YouTube right now and you would like to basically interact and maybe send me a quick message, you know what I'll do right now? Actually, I'm going to pull up HQ Connect, my Twitter profile. Excuse me. So you and I can interact with each other. So let me just open a new tab, because I'm sure there's lots of questions and lots of things you guys are thinking about. I mean, I didn't even get to all of the comments and questions that I really did want to get to. But hopefully we'll be able to do this. And Fallon, you're a bitch. I'm just reading New Drinking Game. Every time Steve-O says, Harp, take a shot. I see what you did there, Fallon. I'm here with you, Steve. Stacy says, thank you. Morgan's mom, I almost forgot. This is a great way to spend my lunch break. You know what, Morgan? I'm happy that you were able to spend your lunch break with me also. Also, really exciting things going on. We are actually working, Nigel and I are working on our very first documentary. And we're going to be, I think we're going to be doing it this spring, and we're looking for people that are interested in participating. We are going to be doing a Bigfoot search, all right? It's going to happen either the first weekend in April or the first weekend in May. And our goal is we're going to be placing reporters and people willing to participate in different areas around the state of Minnesota so we can track some of the different steps that Bigfoot is making here in our home state. So we're really hoping, if you are interested in participating in that, I will be getting you details about that very, very soon. I know we have 36 people watching online right now, so maybe would you guys like to hear a song? I can do that. That would be great. We actually do have, I don't know if I should say this now. Why not? Okay. We do have a new thing that we're doing is we're going to be doing a meetup very soon. Yes, we're going to meet people in person, kind of like people do like the Chive meetups at bars and stuff like that. We were thinking about doing it at Joe Sensors, but we're not going to make it public knowledge. I'm not going to have signs or anything like that. We are going to have something that you have to say with each other, okay? So this is what you would do. Ready? Let's say you are you. Oh, I just got electrocuted. And I am me. So you are sitting at a table, and this is how we would interact with each other. Here we go. Hi, how are you? Good, good. Are you here for the Connect? And you would look back at me and go, oh, hi, yeah. The dots. And then we would do our handshake, which is it's together and then out. And that's how we shake hands. And that's how you know an HQ Connect member is how you shake your hand like this. So when you go in for the handshake, and it looks kind of like, I can't do it with both hands right now, sorry, like this. So that's basically it for right now. Thank you so much for being a part of the very first HQ Connect live event. We hope to be doing a lot more in the very near future. If you have topics, things you want to talk about, things you want to connect about, if you have information that you think that we got to see, videos are something that we love. Please make sure you email them to me. You can do that by emailing me, just stevokdwb@gmail.com. Again, STEVEO at, oh, excuse me, STEVEOKDWB@gmail.com. I hope to see you soon. Also, please take the time to tweet me. Twitter, HQ Connect. Make sure you continue to follow our YouTube channel. This one will continue to play, so you can continue to gather and take in some of this information. And I look forward to meeting you online very soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Good night.